How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about OCGN. Many people are asking me those questions. Dre, we need to get an update. You haven't done a video in a hot minute. And you know what? You're exactly right. I'm not going to leave you guys out in the cold. I did come into the Webull comment section. We talked about OCGN a little bit. But you know what? I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the institutional side and as well as on the retail side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for OCGN. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $3.98, being up 13.39%. On the low, it tested $3.51, and then on the high, testing $3.99. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 12.361 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 9.312 million shares. So we did have above average volume on the day, and it's part of the reasons why we saw some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 50.81. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, but we do have price action above the 21-day EMA. So the first thing I want to bring to your attention, you can see we were able to hold down support right here at this $3 level. And now you can see here we're able to hold up right around this $3.50 level. We ended up testing $3.51 on the day, and we ended up seeing a high of $3.99. So one thing that we do notice, $4 is a psychological area. And once we're able to break through this $4 level, that's where I'm going to look forward to seeing how well we do when we start seeing resistance right here around $4.29. Passing $4.29 will get us up to the 50-day, where we'll be around $4.51. And that's where things can really get interesting for OCGN, because if it can hold it, that's where I look forward to seeing that move to 5. If we end up having a pullback now, then of course, yes, we want to see 350 hold up, but the next level to look out for will be right around $3.34. So one thing that you're going to want to keep in mind, but for the most part, I want to see this bullish move continue, especially getting to this 50-day. So let's see how it performs going into tomorrow. We do have some key data that's going to be coming out, so I'll be keeping this on close watch. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for OCGN. So as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings, we can see for February the 9th, we have a closed position from Charter Oak Capital Management. And then we also have BNP Paribas Asset Management that purchased 15,939 shares. And we also have IMC Chicago LLC with calls and puts, and respectively we had 242,800 and as well as 84,100. And then when we take a look at Stewart Partners Investment Advisors LLC, they ended up closing out their position as well. And now when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 45.13%, and then for the dark pool short volume, it is at 856,728 shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 200,000, updated 23 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow-free rate being at 11.67%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 7th, it's at 54.80, and then for the close of the 8th being at 45.13. So what this shows us, OCGN does have short squeeze potential, and this is why when you have a lot of buying pressure coming into the stock, we can see a lot of upside in the play. So let's go into the order flow distribution.
Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for OCGN. So we see here on the inflow, it's at 10.72, and then on the outflow, it's at 9.68. So it was an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown on the large, it was 1.31. On the medium, it was 6.61, and then on the small, it was 2.80. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large, it was 0.19. On the medium, it was 6.93, and then on the small, it was 2.56. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for February the 9th, which is today, it being at 1.11 million. We also did see an inflow on the 7th of 1.16 million, and then we also saw it on the 4th at 0.64 million. You could also see for February the 3rd, it ended up being an outflow, which is not too bad, and we also had 0 for February the 28th. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the large, which represents whales, institutions, or funds, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was right around 6.23%. So this is up there for a stock like OCGN, but keep in mind, we've been dealing with some very volatile markets, but there are many who are holding on to their positions, and we did have a lot of demand in the market for the stock. So now let's go into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for OCGN, the latest update that came out, which was at the end of January, they were able to get a non-binding letter of intent to get a manufacturing site in Ontario, Canada. So this is definitely great news, especially since they want to launch covaxin in Canada and as well as the US. They are still waiting on the approval, but this gives a lot of confidence to investors as well. In regards to the price action, I want to see OCGN get to $4.51. This will put us right at the 50-day moving average. But before we get there, I want to see us get past $4.29. We could have some resistance at that particular level, so I want to make sure you're keeping an eye on that. As far as if we decide to pull back, we know the markets have been very choppy, and we have some key CPI data that's going to be coming out. So if we do pull back, I want to see us hold up at least around $3.50, and as well as the $3 level. We have been shown to have support in these particular areas, so again, add that to your homework and as well as your due diligence. And when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it still continues to have short squeeze potential. So this is why if we have a lot more strength coming into the market, like we saw today, we should be able to get past the $4 level, and that's where I want to look forward to seeing a strong breakout. I know many of you that are inside of this play saying, hey, when is it going to be moving? You know what? It has been moving fairly well. It has tested lows of $2.87. We've seen it being able to build support at $3. We see it building support at $3.50 and so on. So we want to continue to see that momentum. And if we continue to see progress, this is why you want to keep this stock on your radar. So let's see how OCGN performs going into tomorrow. If you are going to be trading it, just make sure you have your entries and your exit down and you're paying attention to the market conditions. And if you're an investor and the stock decides to pull back, you do have an opportunity where you can add and take advantage of the dip. Like I said, it did test a low of 287, and here it's at trying to get to $4. So you should be seeing some upside there. But I also know many of you are in at a much higher cost, so you're just going to want to keep an eye on it and see what the company does and how the stock performs as the market picks itself back up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.